Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good morrow, whatever time of day it is for you guys. Hello, and welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing the Melanie Martinez book tag part 2, which is of another album of hers, which is K-12. The first song is Wheels on the Bus, and I'm gonna be honest, when I first heard this, I was not intrigued at all. I hated this song at the beginning, but over time it has grown on me. Wheels on the Bus is basically the first one in the album and the first one in the movie. It's where they're on this magical flying pink bus. Byeee, which is Melanie's character in K-12, the Crybaby album, she is showing disgust towards what her classmates are doing. Her classmates are being sexual, they're passing marijuana around, they're doing really, really bad things, and the driver has seen this. He's seen all this, but he's choosing to not really give a fuck, really. And the book that I chose for this is The Worst Thing About My Sister by Jacqueline Wilson. This is about two sisters that are completely different to each other. There is Marty. She's very like a tomboy. She's very tomboy. She's very masculine, should I say. And she loves drawing superheroes, and her favourite superhero is Mighty Mart. And she hates her sister, her big sister Melissa, who's very, very girly. Move houses, and they have to share the same room. They have a lot of difficulties, and something happens to Melissa. That's all I'm going to say about this one. Yes, I have actually read this one. So the quote that made me think of The Worst Thing About My Sister is, "No one's watching us. Don't give a fuck." Next up is Class Fight. So, Crybaby is jealous of Kelly because Kelly is with the hottest guy of the school and also Crybaby's crush. And she just hates that Kelly has got everything. In the video, they end up fighting because they all have magical powers, and she ends up fighting with her. Pretty sure Crybaby wins. The book that I chose for this is 50 Shades of Grey. Now, I know what you're thinking. Oh, but Anastasia's not jealous that Christian's with someone. He's not even with anybody all the way through the book, apart from her. Well, if you think about it this way, he's jealous of every single male that is in her life. It's annoying that he's so jealous. He's like every single male, no matter what, even her fucking best friend Jose, he's jealous of him. He's jealous of her work colleagues and all the shit like that. And he thinks everyone's her boyfriend at first. And it's like, dude, come on. Fucking grow up. It's just idiotic. It really is. So the quote for 50 Shades of Grey is, "I fell in love with him, but he wasn't in my life." Switch that pronoun around, you get, "I was in love with her, but she wasn't in my life." There you have a Christian Grey line, pretty much. Next up, The Principal. I was really shook meaning of this song when I researched it. And this song is actually aimed at Donald Trump. Principal is a metaphor for him. And the song is basically about the leader being greedy and cruel. and letting innocent people die for him to get his own way. I did get one quote from this song, but there is another quote that she says that reminds me so much of Donald Trump. Quote that reminded me of Donald Trump is, "You're fixated and elated by the separation of the place that you've created." Separation as in he's separating the Mexicans from the Americans. For this, I chose Out of the Dark by Greg Hurwitz, which is the 4th book in the Orphan X series. Basically, this is about a spy called Evan. One of his missions is to kill the President of the United States of America because he's a traitor. The president is a threat to his country. He's ordered your death, but how do you kill the most powerful man on the world on Earth? It's so sneaky how he does it. And Mr. Hurwitz, yes, I'm targeting you right now. I am waiting for the 6th one of this series. Hurry up. Apparently it's coming out in February, so the prodigy son. Sorry, I can't say that properly. Quote that reminded me of Out of the Dark is, "I tried to make you listen, but you want it your way." Right? Next up is Show and Tell with my Dolosi Bluebell. Shows how celebrities are perfect to the public, and it just really annoyed her. For this, I chose Bag of Bones, which is, as you can see, what I'm currently reading. Now, in Bag of Bones, this is about a writer who lost his wife 4 years ago. He's getting a lot of fame at the minute because he's working on a case with this woman called Mattie because her father-in-law is trying to take away her daughter, Kyra. And they have this sort of bond, and his house is being haunted by his wife and some other ghosts as well. For this, I chose the quote, "I'm on display for you fuckers to see." Her father-in-law was a multi-millionaire. Press are always watching them now, and they're trying to be so discreet about shit, but it's not working. Next up is Nurse's Office. Such a weird video, but I had no idea what it was about and what the lyrics meant. This song is about school bullying. For this, I chose The Worry Website by Jacqueline Wilson. I've never read this. All I know is it's about these group of kids that are having trouble at school. They're having their own troubles, and this teacher has a thing called Worry Website where they can put in their worries and others can help solve their worries and troubles. And it's really good for school bullying. So for this, I got the quote, "Don't cut me, punch me, just let me go." Next song has a really good beat, and it's called Drama Club. Drama Club is about the entire school being full of drama, and they're all brainwashed into thinking how they are scripted is how they are in real life. So basically they're pretending to be someone that they're actually not. Everyone's like this apart from Crybaby and her best friend Angelita. For this, I actually bought this for Christmas. This is one of my new books. I recommend the book The Hate You Give. And basically it's about this girl called Star. She lives in a poor neighborhood where she was born and raised, and she has to go to this really posh high school in the suburbs. She has to pretend that she's someone who she isn't. The uneasy balance of them is shattered when Star's the only witness to the fatal shooting of her best friend, Khalil. Now what stars says could destroy her community, and it could also get her killed. So she has to be really, really careful. The quote from the song that reminded me of this is, "You can keep your costume, you can keep your mask. I'ma turn around so you can kiss my ass." Is Connor's favourite from this album. Yes, I got Connor into Melanie Martinez. He loves this song. This is called Strawberry Shortcake. Strawberry Shortcake is about girls feeling really, really insecure about their bodies, and this is because they've been told like their bodies have to be a specific way, like they have to be hourglass shaped, and they have to like have really, really smooth legs, to have a big hips and a tiny waist. Told that they have to be sexually attractive from a very young age. For this, I chose My Not So Perfect Life by Sophie Kinsella. Reason why I chose this is because this woman, Katie, she lives a completely different life on social media than she does in real life. So on social media, she has the perfect life, a flat in London, a glamorous job, and a super cool Instagram feed. Whereas in real life, she rents a really tiny room with no space for a wardrobe, has a hideous commute to a lowly admin job. The quote that reminded me of this is, "It's my fault, because I put icing on top." Next up is my second favourite of this album, which is Lunchbox Friends. This one meant. This one is about fake friends and basically them just sitting with you only for lunch and then fucking off and gossiping about people that they don't even know. So a quote to show this is, "Gossip about hoes that they don't know." For this, I chose Mother Knows Best. Now, if you've seen Tangled, you know why I chose this. But if you haven't, basically, this woman right here is using Rapunzel, which is supposed to be her adoptive daughter, for her hair. Because her hair makes her look like that. But without her hair, she'd look like this. She's actually this age, but her hair makes her look like this age. So, yeah, she does use her. And the quote that I chose for this is, "I want someone who understands." Next up is Orange Juice, which I always think of a guitar just moving your fingers up the strings. Like the beginning of it sounds a little bit like that. Unfortunately, this is one out of two of the songs that I do not have a book for, but I can tell you about. This song was obviously written by Crybaby to her friend Fleur, who had bulimia, and all she was doing was constantly eating oranges. Seeing as I didn't have a book for this, my favourite quote from this is, "The way you look is not an issue." Next up is Detention. So Detention is about being in a state of loneliness, but no one cares as long as you're making money for them. The quote that I got from this is, "Sadness, can't you see it?" So for Detention, I chose A Little Life. No idea what it's about. Jude, Willem, JB, and Malcolm. It's about these four guys that live together, and apparently you go through with them what they go through, and apparently it's really, really upsetting. Next up is one of the most disgusting meanings ever, but it does need more awareness. And this is Teacher's Pet. I think by that TikTok you can already tell what the fuck it's about, but I'm gonna tell you anyway. And this is the other song that I don't actually have a book for, and it's about paedophilia, inappropriate relationships between students and teachers, and also grooming. That's all I have to say about this one. Next up is one of my favorites. Also pretty much represents me. This is High School Sweethearts. Have a TikTok of me and Connor. God, I love him so much. So, High School Sweethearts is about wanting a lover who loves you for who you are, wanting a long-term relationship, and someone who's really honest with you. For this, I chose As Old as Time, which is a retelling of Beauty and the Beast. If you live under a rock and you've never seen Beauty and the Beast, basically it's about this prince that meets an enchantress. He's very, very selfish and mean towards her, and then he ends up being under an enchantment where he is a beast and all of his servants are furniture. The bookworm of the entire village, the outcast, should you say, because she's strange, no question, ends up going to his castle and ends up falling in love with him. And basically all he wants, literally all he wants, is for someone to accept him for his beastly self and to love him for who he is and to be honest with him and to trust him. Quote that reminded me of this is, "Can we just be honest? These are the requirements. If you think you can be my one and only true love." Next up is Recess, which is my favourite of the album. Recess is about getting rid of toxic and harmful people from your lives. So, the quote, "Don't let them hurt you." I chose Interview with the Vampire for this. Now, if you remember, this was one of the first books that I reviewed on this channel. I have come a long way since this. I chose this for Recess because Lestat is a really, really toxic person. Like, at first he's an okay guy. As you read more, he becomes more toxic and harmful towards Louis and Claudia. So Louis takes it upon himself to get rid of Lestat. Last but not least, we have Fire Drill. Fire Drill is about three things: school bullies, attention seeking, and fake friends. For this, I chose The Island, which I recently finished. Basically, this is about 7 students. They're all from the different categories. Your normal categories, like your fucking emos, your nerds, your dorks, your jocks, stuff like that. And basically, they get sent to this island to be an experiment on how they would survive. They have to stay there for almost a month. They figure out that they're part of an experiment. Like, highly recommend these two, even though they're both going towards a charity, because they are less than 4 stars. That's all I have for you guys today. If you liked it, please make sure to give it a big thumbs up and comment below which is your favourite book, what is your favourite song of this album, and I shall see you guys in the next video. Stay luscious, guys. Bye!